Yesterday we reached 100 subscribers on the channel. I'm so thankful that we did this. So today I'm going to be making our 100 subscribers special. And to do that, I'm making something that almost everybody loves. That's chocolate chip cookies. Also, we're coming up on the holidays, so you could maybe make these for any holiday party or just during the time to enjoy. So if you search up any recipe online, most of them are just going to call for melted butter. But for my recipe that I've created, I actually like to use brown butter, so I think it gives it a nice richer and deeper flavor. So first, you can just take one stick of butter, and then you can add that to a pan on medium heat. So you can melt this butter on medium heat until it's fully melted, and then it starts to get a nice brownish color, and it's going to smell really nice and fragrant, and then that'll be ready. Just for reference, if you want to make these cookies, it'll make about 20 really good sized cookies. So for this recipe, I like to use, for the sugar, I like to use just normal white and normal brown sugar. And so I'm going to use about 3/4 cup of this brown sugar. So for my white sugar, I like to use another 3/4 cup of sugar. So as you can see right here, we're starting to develop more of a brownish color. And so it's starting to smell really nice, but we can let this go for a little bit longer. As you can see right here, this butter has gotten a beautiful brown color. It smells fantastic. So I've let it cool down slightly, and now we can pour it into our sugar. So now we can go ahead and mix our sugar and butter together. Make sure to get rid of all the clumps of the brown sugar. As you can see, we now have this beautiful sugar and brown butter mixture, and now we're going to crack in some eggs. Pretty much want to cream this together and get the eggs nice and incorporated. It's about 1 teaspoon. So I've just added about 2.5 cups of normal flour. Next, a pinch of salt, 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder, teaspoon of baking soda. Now we can mix our dry ingredients together on top, and then once those are pretty much mixed together, we can fold it into the wet batter. And make sure you scrape off all the flour that's on the sides, and make sure you incorporate it fully into your dough. And at this point, you can preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Right here we have our cookie dough, chocolate part of our chocolate chip cookies. I have 3 milk chocolate bars right here, and you can use any chocolate bars you'd like, or you can obviously use chocolate chips, but I think that this has a better flavor, and while it takes longer to end up making this entire dish when you use chocolate bars like this, it looks better in the end, in my opinion, and it tastes better. So right here we have some of the chocolate, and if you want, you can follow the squares and just have those mixed in with the chocolate. But what I like to do is actually chop up the chocolate into little chunks like this, and it'll pretty much end up breaking apart on its own. And if it doesn't, you can make it into your own little pieces. And I like this because I think it looks better instead of just chocolate chips, like I said earlier, and it tastes better. And obviously, when working in the kitchen, you have to taste test it. So let's taste this chocolate. Let's go. So after you have your chocolate into your ideally sized pieces, you can dump it into your cookie dough. You can repeat that process with 1 more bar of chocolate. After adding in all the chocolate, we can mix it into our cookie dough. So your dough should come out something looking like this. And now we can set this to the side. So now that our dough is ready, we can add some cooking spray to a baking sheet. And now we can form little balls with our dough, add it to our baking sheet, and then press down just slightly. So right here I have all of the cookies, and I actually made the cookies a little bit bigger this time, so I didn't end up using an entire another sheet for just 5 cookies. And so now I'm going to top them off with a little bit more chocolate. So this next step is purely for presentation purposes, and now you can just take your chocolate and cut it into those separate rectangles, and top each cookie with that rectangle, just like this. You just press into each cookie, like so, and do that for every single cookie. We can now put our cookies into the oven. Now these should take about 20 minutes at 350 degrees. Alrighty, so I pulled these out of the oven, I've let them rest for about 5 minutes, and so now we can taste. So I'm going to take the cookie I already dug into a little bit to make sure it was cooked. So this is after 20 minutes of cooking, 15 beautifully looking, nicely sized cookies. You can see on the bottom we have a perfect color. We got a lot of chocolate chips. You can see it's still doughy on the inside, not raw, but nice and like rich and decadent. So now you can taste. Oh yeah. It's just perfect. You can see it's nice and cakey, but it's also fudgy at the same time, and it's rich. The chocolate is beautiful, and the flavors are perfect. It's kind of crisp on top and on the bottom. It's just an amazing cookie. Definitely make this for the holidays. Thanks for 100 subscribers. I'll see you in the next one.